For centuries, a city of mud and sun stood proudly in the desert, Arg-e Bam. It watched over trade routes, sheltered its people, and became a symbol of culture and strength. But history holds mysteries. How could such greatness rise, and how could it fall? What secret does this silent fortress still whisper to us today? Arg-e Bam, a fortress of mud, a mystery of time. Arg-e Bam is known as one of the oldest and largest mud brick structures in the world, and historical evidence shows that its origins go back more than 2,000 years. In the early days, people in the area chose this high point above the desert plain to build a small stronghold, so they could protect themselves from bandits and keep watch over the trade routes. Little by little, they began to expand the structure and built new walls around their homes and workshops. As the trade routes through the desert became busier, the citizens of this fortress made new gates and towers to welcome travelers and merchants. The structure gradually transformed into a small city with its own market, mosque, and residential districts. Historical sources confirm that the citadel played an important role in connecting Eastern and Western trade networks, and many people settled there because it was considered safe and active in commerce. During one period, one of the kings of the region ordered repairs and major expansions to strengthen the citadel. Mud brick architects and experienced builders developed new walls, added watchtowers, and built underground water systems to deal with the desert heat. Thanks to these improvements, the fortress became even more powerful and served both as a defensive structure and as a lively center of social life. Travelers described it as a shining city rising from the desert. For several centuries, Arg-e Bam continued to prosper and became a cultural and economic center in the region. Schools, public baths, and workshops were built inside the walls, and people from different backgrounds lived peacefully side by side. Historical documents suggest that it also served as a safe shelter during conflicts and periods of instability in the surrounding lands. With time, its importance grew and it became a symbol of pride for the entire area. In the later centuries, as trade routes changed and more modern cities appeared, the fortress slowly lost its population. Many residents moved out and only a few caretakers stayed behind. However, the structure remained mostly intact and continued to impress visitors and researchers with its extraordinary architecture. Even in modern times, restoration efforts have preserved most of the original design. Arg-e Bam still stands as a powerful reminder of the creativity and perseverance of the people who built and protected it over many generations. What hidden story lies beneath the ruins of Bam? In December 2003, the people of Bam woke up to a morning that began like any other, but within seconds their peaceful city was shaken by a powerful earthquake. The ground started to tremble violently, and many old houses, shops, and historical buildings collapsed almost instantly. Rescue workers and neighbors rushed into the streets, trying to help anyone trapped under the debris. It quickly became clear that this was one of the most devastating events in the region's history. The residents of Bam showed incredible courage and solidarity in the first hours after the earthquake. Even though many of them had lost family and friends, they kept searching through the ruins with their bare hands. Help began arriving from different parts of Iran, and temporary shelters were set up to protect people from the cold night. Volunteers brought food, blankets, and water, while doctors provided emergency medical care. Among the many structures damaged, Arg-e Bam suffered heavy destruction. Large parts of the ancient mud brick fortress were completely destroyed, which shocked historians and architects around the world. Specialists were called to assess the damage and to plan proper restoration. Despite the sadness, many people believe that rebuilding the citadel would give hope to the survivors and preserve the cultural heritage of the area. In the heart of Bam, something unbelievable was revealed. Right after the devastating 2003 earthquake, researchers cleared debris from Arg-e Bam and stumbled across something utterly chilling. Not in the ground, but literally inside the fortress's walls. The team found what appeared to be a standing cemetery of children, as if the kids were buried upright amidst the bricks. It was one of the most haunting and controversial archaeological discoveries in Iran in decades. Persian translation. Later digs estimated that initially a few remains were found, climbing to about 12 and eventually up to 68 child skeletons. The burials were mostly along the outer fortress walls, particularly on the west and east sides, and were so well preserved that many of the children naturally mummified. The burials came in 3 styles, perfectly embedded within the brick courses, tucked between bricks, or placed in crumbled wall hollows. The last type likely dates from when the fortress was abandoned and not used anymore. What do you think about this tragic practice? How does it make you feel knowing that children were placed inside the walls of the citadel? Historians quietly speculate that superstition, fear, or a desperate hope to please unseen forces may have led to these burials. The preserved bodies give the impression that the past still watches anyone who wanders through the deserted corridors of the citadel, a chilling reminder of forgotten lives. Walking among the ruins, you can almost hear faint whispers, the soft cries of tiny voices trapped for centuries. What do you think really happened here? Was it ritual, fear, or something else entirely? Bam is more than ruins in the desert. It is a riddle of time, reminding us that even in silence, history continues to speak. The child burials at Arg-e Bam were unique in their placement within the walls of the citadel. Archaeologists have identified 3 primary burial methods. Embedded within the mud brick walls. Some children were placed in the construction of the walls, with their bodies becoming part of the structure. Embedded within the mud brick walls. Some children were placed in the construction of the walls, with their bodies becoming part of the structure. Interred between bricks. Other children were buried between the layers of bricks, indicating a deliberate placement within the wall. Deposited in wall hollows. In some cases, children were placed in natural voids or hollows within the walls, possibly due to structural damage or decay. These burial practices suggest a purposeful integration of the deceased into the fabric of the citadel, reflecting cultural or ritualistic significance. And yet, despite everything, no one can truly say what really happened. If you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.